Kerry Mix was able to get around Johnny Gaunt. He's setting sail for that 4-car. The 4-car's got himself a pretty good cushion.
Yeah, he managed to get through that lap traffic fairly easily. Now, Kerry Mix struggling a little bit on the outside to pass the Aaron's Dream Machine at the 29 of Pierre Bourque as we again ride on board with DJ Kennington, who continues to chase the 22 of Scott Steckley.
Well, Thompson's just doing a great job here. You know what, I was remembering there's a track in Ontario very much like this without the graduated bank. That's Mosport Oval, and Thompson's dominated there in the past. Very similar, just without the graduated banking, and Thompson's having a whale of an outing here tonight.
Yeah, he needs a good run. Another driver needs a good run. Mark Dilley, and Thompson is pit.
Reno, I talked to Mark just before the start of the race. He said he'd either be really good or really bad. What's he saying on the radio?
The car itself feels pretty good right now. It's just a lot of debris on the track from that blown engine, so it's starting to come in now. We're just riding it out, so we'll make some changes first stop. Thank you.
Well, that's the guy I want on my pit box right there. Reno Martinelli, one of the smartest guys out here. A good driver himself, and if he keeps Mark calm and cool in the car, they'll get the job done.
And he's hugging the inside line, sitting in 7th position as we continue here in the early going of the Velocity Prairie Thunder 250 in Saskatoon. But a change for a second now. It's Andrew Ranger ducking underneath the 02 of Kerry Mix.
And look who he's bringing with him. Same suspects from last week, the 22 of Scott Steckley, all the way from the back, and here they are, 22-27, but right now that's only second and third. They got to go catch that Home Hardware Chevrolet.
Who has checked out nearly half a straightaway lead over the rest of the field. John Gaunt now taking a look in the high-tech drilling number 12 on the 02 of Kerry Mix. A move Gaunt up inside the top 5, and again, looks like tire problems on the 40 Prime Jam Dodge of Joey Hansen. The right front is down again. The caution is out.
Wow, earlier when he got that first flat tire, we were talking about a tire rub on the right front, maybe a jacket post. Maybe they got a sway bar arm or a shock touching, and that's what's cut the right front tire, because you normally don't see 2 in a row.
A number of drivers in, Nickel, and so is Siebert, and Todd standing by.
You're right, guys. Another problem with the 40 of Joey Hansen is another chance for Anthony Simone and Ron Beauchamp Jr. to make pit stops. Simone with a little difficulty getting around Dave Whitlock. Another handling adjustment for the 60 Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Much more from Auto Clearing Speedway in Saskatoon when we come back.
The number 4 Home Hardware Chevy of Don Thompson Jr. has dominated the 7th race of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series here at the Auto Clearing Motor Speedway. We have had 3 cautions slowing the field so far as we get set for restart number 3 on lap 85.
Sandy Hamilton telling his boys all clear, let her roll. And look at what a jump he gets down the backstretch. He opens up 2 car lanes back to Ranger and Steckley.
Yeah, Andrew Ranger absolutely hung it out up in 1 and 2. That car didn't stick at all in the high groove, and now he's in that tight battle for second spot with Scott Steckley.
Look at the 12, Johnny Gaunt. Great to see him running the top 5. He's sitting there waiting to see how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, but look at how racy that top groove is. Now for Andrew Ranger, the right rear tire kind of came in. It stuck a little bit better this time. Now he's able to get that run on the 22 and get by for second.
You can get that thing hooked up out there in this graduated bank. I'll tell you, I'd rather run the second groove all night. A little easier on tires. You're able to carry more momentum up off the corner, and it'll get you better straightaway speed.
On board, the number 3 of Jason Hathaway sits in 7th position, battling with the 17 of DJ Kennington, just behind Mark Dilley and the 02 of Kerry Mix.
Look at that spec motor running right beside that built motor of Dilley. No, just great competition NASCAR has done here with that spec motor. Just a great job. Look, side by side down the straightaway.
Absolutely. Lots of parity between all different manufacturers in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. I was just going to say the 12 of John Gaunt starts to make a run up on the 22, but just as I mentioned that, the 22 of Steckley gets away, and now John Gaunt's going to drop in front of the 9 of Mark Dilley.
Dilley and Mix going right at it. Good old Saturday night short track racing. These guys have done this many laps over the years.
On board, the Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington sitting in 7th spot. He's got a good up-close look at that battle between Kerry Mix and Mark Dilley. And Mix drives it in hard up on the outside, looking for that momentum to try and carry him through.
DJ's got that second groove figured right out. He's waiting on Mix to get out of the way right now. Look how much faster he is in the middle of the corner.
Saw a quick look at the number 48 8 of Nathan Wake. Good run in his first NASCAR Canadian Tire Series start. Now, he does know this track. He's got to learn these cars, though, and he's having a pretty decent run. He's sitting in 9th.
Well, these are 3,000-pound cars with pretty decent horsepower. Not a lot different than what he's used to. But I'll tell you, the guy that's doing a great job today is right there, the 21. Sitting in the 10th position tonight. That's his best run all year.
Yeah, the A&W cruising the dub. Impala SS of Jason White having a very good run. But how about Mark Dilley starting to make his march forward now on the inside groove as he battles with the 12 of John Gaunt for 4th spot. Gaunt in the high-tech drilling Dodge Avenger up on the outside.
Reno's got that set up hooked right up. Look at that thing go right around the bottom. He's got that little loose up off the corner, but that's all down that bottom groove. He gets that thing up in the second groove. Watch it haul the mail.
Dilley has been reluctant to use that high groove all day long. He's stuffed down on that curb lane, the yellow line down around the bottom of this Auto Clearing Motor Speedway. Fantastic facility, as we mentioned, just absolutely gorgeous. And what a race and what a show the owners have put on.
I've been watching this fight up front about to happen. Don Thompson Jr. looking in the mirror, and look what's coming. The 22 Canadian Tire tow truck in a box. Dodge is coming.
And he's dragging along the 27 of Andrew Ranger. This battle wages on, though. It's the 9 of Mark Dilley and the 12 of Gaunt. Now Dilley gets through, and he'll take over 4th position.
And DJ Kennington got that 17 Castro Dodge pinned right down the bottom as well. Look at this up off the corner. He steals the spot. That's for 6th.
Almost gets into the 0-2 of Kerry Mix. Nathan Wake now for 8th spot underneath the snap-on Dodge of Jason Hathaway. Wake is starting to move to the front.
Wow, that's a brand new Mike McCall car, as we said before. That thing's on rails, and this kid's picking them up and setting them down real well.
You know what, too? He's keeping the nose clean on that 48 car as well. Just doing a little bit of learning here, racing with these veterans who've been running these cars for many, many years. Nathan Wake quickly picking it up.
Well, he's been very respectful, and here in this series, you'll get some respect in return.
Ron Beauchamp Jr. manages to get around the 48 of Nathan Wake. Beauchamp has made a couple pit stops to make adjustments on that Mopar Dodge, and once again, working his way to the front of the field. And that 22 on rails, as you mentioned earlier, Billy Scott Steckley chasing down the leader, and Tom's got an update on him.
Greg Gibson, you guys worked up until the last possible second getting that car ready for Scott Steckley. Looks like you got it right.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. It was right before it blew up, so we just had to get another good mill. Got to thank DJ for that, and hopefully we can keep her running here.
Wow, yeah, good mill for sure. DJ supplies real good motor, but that guy right there is the brains behind that 22 car. He's a thinker, and he just likes to innovate, and I'll tell you what, the 22 car has been the best handling car by far all year long.
And he'll have something for Don Thompson Jr. before too long. Todd moved down a couple pit stops. He's got an update on Joey Hansen's flat tire issues, Tom.
Fellas, the flat tires are the result. They're not the actual problem. Joey Hansen got into the 69 of Trevor Siebert, bent the steering arm, and that's what keeps cutting the tire. Now they're going to correct that actual problem.
Billy, what are they doing there?
Well, they're just shortening up the end of the arm there, so when the tire flexes in the middle of the corner, the tire actually flexes and it deflects inside, so that means it would take it closer to the steering arm and cut the inside of the tire. I kind of feel good about that because we called at the time it had to be something abnormal, and it was. As
we hit the home hardware halfway update, the fastest lap has been put in by Jason White in the 21, but we've got a battle for the lead. The 22 of Scott Steckley showing the bumper to the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. This is the closest that anybody has been to that 4 car all day long.
Well, Thompson had checked right out early on, but that 22 was coming and digging hard, and now he's there, and he's going to put the pressure on the veteran of the 4 car.
These two have been having a little battle royale all race long. 4th spot between the 12 of John Gaunt and the 9 of Mark Dilley, and a new leader, the 22 of Scott Steckley, goes through for the lead in the tow truck in a box. Canadian Tire Dodge Avenger. Don Thompson Jr. finds him in second for the first time tonight.
Well, Jason White, even though he's turned the fastest lap of the racetrack, he ended up out in the wrong spot. Thompson gets trapped in behind him, and Steckley took it over. Steckley was going to get by anyway. He definitely got the fastest car right now, but Thompson's not going to let him away scot-free.